giving him shit.
Man, what? Man, you ain't gonna give me check. We need brothers to come to class.
Damn, man. Ite me ya me está rotando. Man, you fucking racist, man. Give me this goddamn flyer, man. You acting crazy, home.
Man, fuck you.
Oh, shit. Tebow, nigga.
What?
Who? Tebow.
Oh, damn, I ain't been to class in a minute. Shit. Oh, shit.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bike. What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing. I thought you already collected the ties.
I did, but I want Red's 10%.
Stall him out.
What's up, Red? What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing, man.
Oh, yeah. You got something.
I ain't got. Hey, man, that's messed up, man.
Shut your ass up or I knock your ass out.
Yo, Tebow, man, that's messed up, man. Give him his money back.
What money?
You right, man. The money.
Hey, man, why ain't y'all help me?
Yeah, man, I paid my tithes.
Man, that's fucked up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all. What about the time he took the ties from me in Zarad's backyard? Oh, that was different.
Man, let's jump him.
Man, sit your ass down, man.
Man, I got mind control over Tebow. When he here, I pay my tithes. But when he leave, I pay my tithes.
Man, damn, man. I should have just paid my tithes, man.
Man, that nigga gonna cry in the car.
He should have paid his tithes.
Shit, real shit.
This shit is endless. What I speak is the truth. I don't care if it's offensive. 12 rounds hit hard, and this shit gon' go the distance. Way to exit cool, but wait till you see the interest. Know that we them niggas when we walk inside the entrance. Put me as the GOAT, you should be honored to get a mention. All my clips is standard, but I still get extensions. Switch on the big 30, sound like when it's spitting. Album so high, I had to give them an extension. One West till they bury me. Yeah, that's the commitment. Don't.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on,
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up on by the bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army. Going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand, got this juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit.
Hey! One West! One West! One West! One West! One West!
Coming up on my double shit.
I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settling
legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin', kill you with kindness cause I'm dead.
All right. Shalom, Lord in Christ. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. And we have been called to teach the so-called Black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native American people that we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Well, not a lot of different things. We're going to be talking about the law, but one thing that I wanted to touch on is forgiveness. Because a lot of what we struggle and go through as a people is the fact that we can't forgive each other. Because the way of the world is something different. Like the way of the world teaches you not to forgive your brother. The way of the world teaches you not to forgive your mother, your father, your sister, and your actual blood relatives. It teaches you not to forgive them. It also teaches you not to forgive your friends and the things that you hold against them, can be to your detriment. But before I go into that, I just wanted to bring up a few things, that we need to take hold, because when brothers, start coming into the truth, there is that demon on you that makes you want to feel like maybe you shouldn't, do the work of the Lord because of what people think. But if I could, let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 10, because a lot of what we might, a lot of what is perceived by others might seem like it's crazy, might seem like it's foolishness. But through, the patience and reading of the scriptures and understanding, we start to realize that the wisdom of this world is actually stupid. It's actually foolishness. One of the things would be, relying on a politician. They call they called it a snake oil salesman back in the day. That's what they would call somebody who was just selling you a dream. Growing up as a kid, how many times, or not even a kid, as like a young adult, how many times does somebody trick you into, getting into a pyramid scheme? Anybody ever offer you that? Like, come join this, you can go under me and then get 2 more people, this, that, and 4. That's actual foolishness. But believing, in God and doing the work of the Lord and, following Christ, that's actually wisdom. But yeah, if I could get 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 10.
How can I say? 1 Corinthians 4 and verse 10. We are fools for Christ's sake, but ye are wise in Christ.
So we are fools for Christ's sake. So we go on that corner and we're preaching and we're talking to brothers who, might, scoff at us, who might, yell at us, tell us to get off the street. This is their block, this, that, and the 4th. They believe that we're fools. You have people in Egyptology, people that believe in, being able to read the stars, that they can tell, what type of personality you have by when you were born. Exactly. They think we're fools. You got those in the conscious community, that, say disrespectful stuff like, calling God Sky Daddy and, somebody's going to crack the sky and come back. You guys are waiting, this, that, and the 4th. And that's all contrary to what we actually believe in and what we do. We do believe that Christ is going to come back, but we were told by Christ to occupy, to build until we come. And those in the conscious community, they know what's going on because they'll see us, feeding the community. They'll see us out there putting boots on the ground, but yet and still, they'll try to make us as fools. Continue.
Come. But ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
We are honorable, but we are despised. Think about what brothers are actually doing when we do this truth. We're going out there and doing an honorable thing by standing up for our people when nobody else really will, the proper way at least. I see people like, the Breakfast Club who don't know how to stand up for Black people. And then when somebody comes up and they got like, some racist gaslighting, statement, the Breakfast Club doesn't even know how to properly deal with that. So they end up embarrassing Black people. But we, in the ISUPK, we're being honorable. You got, Commanding General Yohana, who did debates, back in the day and was able to destroy, a lot of the myths that came with how we really are as a people and what's really the cause of our detriment. Commanding our Salakia, General Muhammad on the street, battling people there. Captain Zaryak, who literally battles like it's his last breath, will literally defend and stand up for Black people, whether it's some neo-Nazi, whether it's some, half-baked coon, on there talking about the world is flat. We actually do the honorable thing, and we defend Black people. That's literally one of the reasons why I came into the truth, because Black people do need a defense. They say things about us that are just so ridiculous and terrible, but we don't know how to react because we don't really realize in the world that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. So there's a lot of deceit with whatever they offer us. If they say that we're the 13%, but we account for 50% of the crimes, we might actually believe that. That sounds like a true statement based off of what the news puts out there about us, what we see on TV and movies, but it is a lie. We're actually arrested more, not even 50%. We're arrested more, but we account for a lot of the exonerations disproportionately. So that means we're being arrested when we're not supposed to be. Those numbers are getting added, but then you have these devils that are saying that those are actual crimes when they're not. But we're being honorable in the ISUBK. We're defending Black people and bringing out this truth. I'm bringing it to you right now, right? On a Wednesday. 7:27 live. We're doing the honorable thing. We got Kaash in here reading the scriptures. I'm sure he could be out there just chasing tail right now. Absolutely. But right now we're doing what's wise according to the Lord. Right. And we're despised for it. The looks that we get on the street, they're absolutely despicable. What brothers say to us. We were out in Harlem, a couple of weeks ago. And, some, Twisted Jake was out there, calling us the devil, saying that we were of Satan, and we got to start thinking about, and that's what it's about. It's about forgiveness. So we got to start thinking about what Christ did. He said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. We're going to come out there again, if Lord willing, weather permitting, to Harlem, and we'll be on that same corner telling brothers, the truth. Let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 20, if I could, because we have to continue to be, fools for Christ, because otherwise, if we do the things of this world, if we're selfish like the world tells us to be, if we just chase money like the world tells us to do, then we'll go ahead and lose everything that we're supposed to have coming to us. We'll go ahead and dissolve as a people and not know anything about what we're supposed to be doing. When I'm riding around different neighborhoods, when I got things to do with my job, I'm starting to notice that there are, certain, and I mentioned this yesterday, there are certain groups of minorities who are able to stick together and be put in place. They don't even speak, English completely, and they don't have to. East Indians can literally come over here, build restaurants, and have a neighborhood, right, that you're gonna have to go and do work in. Somebody who was, as Captain Zion said, cutting up meat with their toenails, can come over here and have an apartment that you can't even afford to live in. Exactly. They can get a loan from a bank. They can be, exempt from paying taxes for 25 years. You can't do that. I'm hearing that these heathens get to come over here, some of them, and not pay taxes for 25 years. Hamites even. Absolutely. You know what I could do without having to pay taxes for 25 years?
So is that also on their checks when they get paid? They don't pay taxes?
So yeah, from what I was told, and this is from a brother who said his aunt had married a Hamite. There was an argument that ensued between them, and she said, "How dare you look down on me when I've done everything from the ground up? You haven't even had to pay taxes for 25 years." Yeah. So they can literally come over here. We don't know, and that's why you think we're foolish, but we're actually wise. We know the Lord is revealing to us what's actually happening and how we should tell it, through the scriptures. And all we have to do is just listen, but we have to obey, because this is the law class. You actually have to obey the law, or you're going to be subject to the devil on earth. That's all it is to it. Any more questions?
That's it.
Okay, no sweat, no sweat. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 20, I believe.
1 Corinthians 1 and 20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world?
Like, where are these people that are like, everybody is agreeing with what the world is saying? Like, who's supposed to come up and dispute what is being said that's wrong and coming up against God? Like, the Lord wants us to stand for what's right because he created everything, and then he has a balance and an order to it, and he has the rules and the laws. He got mercy, but he has the rules of what we're supposed to be doing. But where is the wise? Where is the man that's going to say, no, don't get an abortion? Where's the woman that's going to say, don't get an abortion? Where's the man that's going to say, no, I'm not going to sleep with, 150 women, and, destroy those women and turn them into whores? Where's the woman that's not going to, divorce her husband and take half just because she was unhappy? Speaking of that, we'll get more on that because that entails in forgiveness. I saw this, it was this devil, and she was talking about how she just got a divorce because she had got mad. And she was crying because she regretted it because her husband quickly moved on. And a lot of y'all, women that are outside of ISUBK, you let the wicked of this world and their infinite wisdom of wickedness trick you out of your position. Like, there's brothers in the world, and they're not right about everything. They're wrong about a lot. But one of the things they said is, what was his name? And I'm not sure if he was in the community or not. His name was Kevin Samuels. The sisters thought he was a little rough on them. But one of the things he said is he was trying to, tell y'all that the same thing that ISUBK has been telling you since 1969. And he was loved by some, but he was hated by a little bit. But we get all the hate. But one thing that I did notice that he said was, he was like, you women got to stop, listening to what is being told to you in, social media and movies and this, that, and the fourth. He said, because you're going to end up dying alone, with a cat. And they showed the numbers that are showing that women are starting to, be alone. Yeah. And they're taking, like, if you die alone, you might not even have siblings. Let's say you're an only child. Who's coming to your funeral? You don't have any kids. You haven't built a family. You know how many the cat's going to eat you when you die in your house. I don't know if these sisters know that, but cats will eat you within about a day of you dying. They'll eat you. That cat will be fed. Whiskers all up in that corpse. One of the things women got to beware of is the fact that this world wants to exploit you, and they don't want you protected. That's why they demonize men to the point of, you guys are saying you're feeling safer with a bear that can slap your damn head across the street. Right. There's a movie that's coming out, and it's about a sister that is talking about she's going to die alone. And I can already tell from the preview, and I could be wrong because I didn't see it, but they're trying to glorify her being by herself. And it's to make women say, you know what, I am woman, hear me roar. I can die alone if I want to. Why? Lord willing, my wife ain't gonna have to die alone. If I go before her, prayerfully, my son got family. My grandmother, she had a ton of family come to the funeral. She had a ton of family come see her off, in her last days. And even though it was a hard thing, it's also a beautiful thing to know that you were a part of being fruitful and multiplying, and you have family that came from you that you love, but you want to die alone? You don't want to dispute the world and say, hey, no, that's wrong, and die.
Was that movie, did it have like black women on there? Or was it just all?
I just saw one black woman, and it looked like an Asian man in there as well. And they're at an airport. Okay. Because I like, sometimes when I'm working, I'll just turn on the TV, because I got a little TV at my desk, and I'll just, while I'm, doing what I'm doing, I have it playing, and it caught my attention, and I got to look up the movie, but it's ridiculous, and it's got a sister, and she's talking about, I'm not listening to them. Like, it's ridiculous, but I don't want to go too far into it. I digress. Let me see. Where were we? The disputer of this world, Salaki.
You want to read this, sir?
Come.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not God made foolish the wisdom of this world?
Isn't it a foolish thing to put all your heart, your soul into money and die and not even get to spend it, and the government or a bank ends up taking it and reallocating it to somebody? Isn't that a foolish thing? You would rather put your love and your trust into a politician that is going to do nothing but whatever the will is of the person who paid them the most money. Isn't it foolish to count on Kamala Harris when she has a track record of showing that she will do nothing for Black people? Isn't it foolish to rely on Donald Trump and listen to people saying that he's not racist, where he wouldn't even rent to Hispanics when he said the things that he said about the, what was it called? The Central Park Five? Is that what it's called? Like, we will hear something slick in this world and just disregard everything that even makes sense for us, and that's wise. Mm-hmm. We'll disregard common sense, and in some stuff is not common sense. You actually have to read the scriptures. But let's continue.
Come. Verse 21. For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God.
Because of everything that everybody is involved in, because of the wisdom of the world, you've come not to even know what God even is or what he wants from you. The wisdom of this world is literally speaking in tongues and babble that makes no sense and is not an actual language. I saw some brother pranking his mom, and the mom starts speaking in tongues because he's coughing up blood, but it's fake. She starts speaking in tongues, praying, and the Lord is not even hearing your prayers, because you have the wisdom of this world. You have the wisdom of church. There's billions of Christians. None of them know the Lord. Continue.
Come. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
We believed. We are going to continue to preach. And we ask that you would come in here and do the same thing so you can help save some of the brothers and sisters who need saving. Because right now, the foolishness of this world is going to have you believing that this system is going to hold you up forever and it's going to crash. I don't know if it's true or not, but there was something that said that the U.S. just sent, what are those called? Destroyers, those ships over to the Middle East. Let's look it up real quick. Let's look it up. I got things around me breaking. I can't put my trust in things that are tangible, because I got too many things around me breaking that I got to pay for. I got to trust in the Lord, not the man that made it, because the men that made it are faulty. They can't tell you what's happening in the future. They can't even tell you what you should be doing with your life. Let me see. The United States sends destroyers to the Middle East. U.S. sends more fighter jets and ships to Middle East. Yeah, this is ABC News. U.S. sends more fighter jets and ships to Middle East ahead of possible Iranian retaliation. I don't know if y'all know what can happen in the next hours, the next years, but y'all should really get it together. Y'all should be on the streets acting a fool like us, trying to wake the people up and not have them trust in Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. On one hand, you got Donald Trump, who's he was talking about giving police immunity, bringing back stop and frisk, so there's more Black people in jail. And on the other hand, you have Kamala Harris, who quite possibly might, do the same thing with jail, not in stop and frisk, but she's also going to destroy your family from the inside out with your children. She's also going to have teachers, having drag shows and have trainees reading your kids green eggs and ham. That's crazy. So don't trust in this world. You should trust in God. You should trust in the wisdom of God. Let me see. And my rib hit me up talking about, Kamala Harris washing her greens in the tub.
Yeah, I see that shit.
Like, where you put your ass at, that's where you washing your food. Like, come on.
I said it makes sense because you seem like the Indian street vendors.
Yo, that is hilarious. Yo, she getting it honest.
Yeah.
Kamala getting it honest. Good night. But yeah, that was 21. So we can go ahead and drop that. But you know, I want to start off. You know, this won't be a long lesson. This is about forgiveness because we actually do need each other, and we need to do the things right according to the Lord, and we don't need to forgive our enemies. You know that the Lord said we're our enemies. We need to never trust them, and we need to forgive each other. We should never hold a grudge against or you know try to get revenge against the children of Israel because the Lord commanded it. Matter of fact, let me get that verse if I could. That is in. Let me see. That is in. So like it there with me one moment. Leviticus. I believe it is, but let me just make sure. I think it's 19. Yeah, 19 and 18. Leviticus 19, and we can start at verse 18. Come on, sir. Matter of fact, hold on, what's 7? I believe 17 might be something we need to read too. Yeah, verse 17 as well. Come on.
This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
We're out here and we don't even realize how much we hate our brothers in our heart. I constantly see stuff on the internet that just proves how much we've hated each other.
Right.
I saw a video in Chicago, and I saw like about three brothers in Shiesties get out the car, and they commenced to unaliving somebody. There was an older woman who was, in traffic. Brothers jump out the car. They try to rob her. When she tries to pull off and get away, they shoot into her car. Like we're hating each other, and we've adopted all the practices that the heathen has demonstrated on us. And the Lord needs us to stop this. Continue.
Come. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and suffer not sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Sometimes somebody can do something to you, and then it can make you plot on them and wait until you get your chance, and then when you get to pay them back, you feel so good about it. But what you did was a very evil thing against the Lord. Continue.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
You don't want somebody coming through, quote unquote, spinning the block and emptying out the stick on you. So don't do it to somebody else. Try to solve those problems with words if you can. I know that's a tough thing to do, right? It's a tough thing to talk something out. It really is. Go ahead.
And this is so helpful because I got into a battle with my family about loving your neighbor.
Right.
You know what I mean? And of course, when you're a Christian, you think the neighbor is the white boy down the street from you, right next door to you. But I said, no, the neighbor is your fellow Israelite, your fellow Black man, Hispanic, and First Nation men and women. That's who God gave us to forgive.
Absolutely.
And to love. It's not to the heathen. You give them so much love.
Damn right.
And you also give so many grace. Like I seen that video today where this old white couple accused these Black people of having a gang meeting when really they were having a funeral. You know what I mean? And they was talking so nice to him. You know what I mean? To be respectful, Mr. This, Mr. That, and the devil was just going off on him. I'm like, man, we got too much respect.
Gang meeting.
Yeah, they got a gang meeting. Stuff.
And it's heavy that you bring out that point. Is we have love for everybody else. We have so much compassion for everybody else, but when it comes to our own people, we haven't been treating each other right. We've devalued, each other's, we've devalued each other's worth in our minds because of everything that has been shown to us on these TVs.
Exactly.
Like, it's so many times where I even see, and people that are in the industry, like music, they even do it.
Absolutely.
Like, the Brat didn't even want to have, when she got artificially inseminated, she didn't even want to have a Black baby. She wanted to be inseminated by a white man.
Yeah.
That is a high level of hatred. That is a very high level of hatred right there. I hear Gilly the Kid spreading hate. I don't even know if he's an actual brother. I think he might, from what I hear, he might be Ethiopian. he's on there talking about y'all saying white people this. Ain't a white person never did nothing to me. A nigga did something to me, this, that, and the fourth. So we're listening to people who further are getting us down the wrong path. But Salaki, we can finish that verse, and then I'll go ahead and move on.
I am the Lord.
Oh, that was Salaki. Let me see. All right, so if we could, let's go to Ezekiel 18 and 22. I think is this the verse that you have brought up during your class? Yeah, let's go to that one, because this is also something we need to realize, that the Lord forgives us. And I wanted to bring this verse back out because this is something that we need to hear.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18 and verse 22. All his transgressions that he committed, they shall not be mentioned unto him. In his righteousness that he hath done, he shall live.
So in his right, that means, so without even have to go above the verse or below, we can see right here that in his righteousness according to the Lord is why he shall live. And his righteousness according to the Lord is why the stuff that a brother has done in the past, the Lord is forgiven because he's repented and turned away from it. If one of your brothers has done something to you and they wronged you, and now they're coming back and they're not doing it no more, you can forgive them. Absolutely. You should forgive them. Yeah. There's certain times where they might not come back. They might not apologize. Maybe you can stay away from them, but still forgive them and don't hold hatred in your heart or try to do something to them. Right. Let's get Ephesians 4 and 29. And one of the things that I want to highlight, you got a lot of marriages, right, where there can be so much hatred, whether the mother, well, not even the mother, the wife. What the wife is remembering stuff from like 8-9 years ago that the husband did, and she can't let it go. Let's say that you're one of the people in the world that believe that a man can't have more than one woman, and then that brother steps out. I've seen situations where that woman don't ever let that man forget it. Ever. Like, you said you was going to stay with me and not be with anybody else, and you stepped out, this, that, and the fourth. The brother can't even really be outside in the front yard talking to his friends. And he's a grown man. Mm-hmm. Forgive him, let it go. If he only wants one woman now, if he want to stay with you, stop throwing it up in his face. If something happened in 2002 that a brother did, let it go. Brothers, if you decided to stay with that woman and she done something crazy to you, like knocked you over the head with a frying pan, or, cut up all your clothes, this, that, and the fourth, you're still with her. Let it go. You guys got to forgive each other, because there has to be a time where you can reset and start over.
I mean, none of it, though.
Huh?
I believe that. I was going to give you another bit, though.
Right.
He won't keep being me like that.
Right. Because, and here we know that we can have multiple wives. Every brother is not going to do it. Some brothers are content, and they don't want I don't even want to call it a hassle, but they don't even want the responsibility of having more than a wife. But for the people that are out in the world and you can hear this, you got to let stuff go and forgive. You have to. You have to start talking to each other, especially, a sister in a relationship with a brother. Start talking to that, or showing that man the same respect that you would show your manager at work.
Absolutely.
Because talking down to a brother, this, that, and the fourth, that can cause problems. But Salaki, let's go ahead and read that. Ephesians 4 and 29.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers.
So don't go around just saying a whole bunch of ridiculous, reckless stuff. Don't go around lying to people. Don't go around just saying profane stuff that doesn't help anybody around you and further put your people in a detriment. Do stuff that just gives the grace of God. Like if you got advice for somebody, if your advice to somebody shouldn't be like, yeah, you should set it off. Yeah, they did this to you. Yeah, you should go. You should listen. If I was you, I would. Yeah, like don't do that. Like, look, yeah, that person should have never did that to you. But look, you got this, that, and the fourth going on to you. Go ahead, leave it alone. And circle back when you got the patience and less anger to deal with it and try to get it rectified. Because a lot of time you got instigators that do have that corrupt communication.
Absolutely.
But continue.
Yes, sir. Verse 30. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Let that happen. And that's another thing that Paul mentioned, because of what Christ did for us at the Passover. Don't take that old leaven and continue to have that in your life. Don't take that grief, that anger, and keep bringing it with you, because all it's going to do is literally destroy you and the people around you. We have to start realizing that the love that we've shown this oppressor, we need to take back and show it to each other. How many times have you been disrespected by the oppressor? But you don't see every single oppressor as, you know what? I remember what that one did. I'm going to treat everyone like that. Especially with black business. You'll mess around and have a problem with black business one time. I ain't never going back to Keisha's Soul Food Kitchen ever again. But McDonald's messed up your order every single Friday. You back in the line yelling and forgiving them and spending your money there. Start being wise. Don't have the wisdom of this world. Have the wisdom of what God has given us.
Right.
Continue.
Yes, sir. 32. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you.
Man, listen. It should really make you want to forgive that brother or sister that is transgressed against you, because think of all the things you've done against God after he gave his son to die for you. I made this analogy and I'll make it quick again. If somebody dies for you, or if somebody has to serve your jail sentence, you don't go and continue to do the same crimes that they took the fall for. That literally negates everything that they did for you and gave you a second chance. So we've done that to God and Christ, and then want to come back like, Father, forgive me. Exactly. But when somebody comes to you and is like, yo, bro, my bad about the other. Nah, get up out of my face. You don't want to answer the phone. You don't know how to forgive. You just have a cold, rotten heart, but would expect the creator of this earth to forgive you for what you've done. And he's way more important than you are. But you can't forgive your brother? Come on, man. Let's go to Colossians 3:11. And that forgiveness part, while you get there, I'll just read a little bit of that. It says, and be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. Our King had to literally die for us to be forgiven. So now God, he'll forgive us. We follow the laws and statutes, commandments, he'll forgive us. After all the things that we've done, all the covenants that we've broken, or excuse me, all of the laws that we've broken, he'll forgive us, but we can't forgive our brother.
Exactly. And I was also saying this to because I got some young kids at my slavery that I teach. That I mean, and so I was telling them like the story I had last week. I always have to keep reminding them about these heathens. You know what I mean? Like I see you guys forgive these heathens for saying all these racist remarks.
Right.
Make sure you forgive your brother the same way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Especially even more.
Damn
even
right.
If he gets a little bit high rate, a little bit violent, like you can only defend yourself, but you know what I mean? That should be your last resort. We should be fight him or to cuss him out. You know what I mean? You got to get a bigger man since you show so much restraint to this racist heathen. You know what I mean? So that's all.
Damn right. Damn right. All right, so Colossians chapter 3 and verse 11.
It's Colossians 3 and 11. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering.
We could stop there. I actually was supposed to have a whole different verse. And when you was reading, I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to stop. We can go to Matthew 6 and 12. But, you know, one of the things that, you know, we should, you know, realize, and I had a long conversation. Man, it was a long conversation. It was on Facebook. And I was trying to get this sister to realize that we have to stop being enemies when it comes to black men and black women. Black men got to forgive black women. Black women got to forgive black men. We need each other. Because we've been hard on each other. But I was trying to give the sister, and I said, look, I'm not your enemy. I think we have to, you know, we need each other, this, that, and the fourth. And she just kept going into like, I'm trying to debate this, that, and the fourth. And I was like, no, I just don't necessarily agree with, we need to have an issue with each other. Just because I don't agree doesn't mean that, you know, I hate you. I just think that brothers and sisters have, you know, dealt treacherously with each other, and we need to find a way to stop it. Absolutely. The whole gender war thing is just terrible. Like, black men and black women, in order to have families, have to be together. Absolutely. We got to forgive each other. But, you know, I could tell that sister, she just couldn't move past it. She just, like, she could not. She could not. And you know, she said a couple things, you know, in there that, you know, when I was younger, it would have brought out like a super duper, like, you know, raw. She would have been every bitch, you know, that's why I would have flamed her up, this, that, and the fourth. That's why you this, that, and the fourth, you go on dialogue, whatever. But I was like, you know what? You know, that sister, she's hurting. She's probably a single mom. That's all. You know, she's getting all this misinformation, you know, from you know, social media, and she don't know which way to go. So, like you said, I'm gonna be the bigger man. I'm not even gonna fire her up. I'm not even gonna cook her in these comments. I'm gonna let her slide, but I still gave her the truth. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that's how she's saying, because that takes patience, you know what I mean, and wisdom to grow and understand that our people are mentally ill, you know what I mean? And one thing that I always stuck in my mind was that Jewish lady named Yehuda something. But she had done a documentary where she was trying to find the trauma passed down from slaves for the white Jewish community. But it turns out that Black people also suffer from that trauma from hundreds of years ago. Right. You know what I mean? Up until this day, like we still deal with all this trauma. We're still fighting against colorism, molestation, violence, drug use, alcohol use, and violence. Like, we have a lot of issues, and we as priests, we have to be more patient and understanding when it comes to that, up to a certain extent. You know? Right.
No, absolutely. And what you're saying is heavy, and you made another point, and that's one of the. I wish I could find the comment, but that's one of the things that I you know, I had tried to tell, you know, the sister. I was like, look, how many times have we given, you know, white society a second chance, but we won't give each other a second chance? How many times have we let a politician or a system have chance after chance after chance? Like, we're really about to go to the polls and decide who we're voting for, even though they've done nothing for us every single time. We're still talking about having conversations with police instead of just saying, you know what, we don't even want you in the neighborhoods. We'll have men police us. But we can't forgive each other and give each other a second chance, but we can give this devil every single chance in the world after the incredible disgustingness that they've done to us, even as far as erasing our history. But we'll forgive them, but we can't forgive the smallest infraction from a brother or a sister. Good night. Matthew 6 and verse 12. Matter of fact, if you can go to Matthew, 6 and 12.
Come on, sir. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 12. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
So forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. It's people in the Christian church that have read that so many damn times because that's coming from the Lord's Prayer. But they don't know how to forgive somebody at the church. They don't know, they won't even sit next to or speak or have enough respect. I saw this one video of a sister talking about she's singing, talking about she was about to slap somebody.
She's singing?
She was singing she was about to slap somebody. And I believe the sister that she was talking about started yelling behind her while she was saying it.
I gotta find that video.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. But we read this Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, but you don't know how to forgive all the debts that we owe the Most High, but you don't want to, ease up and stall a brother out for a debt that he owes you. Come on, man. Continue.
Oh God, sir. Verse 13. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Verse 14.
For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you.
So if you forgive a brother for his trespasses, the Lord will forgive you. There's things that, family members have done, friends have done, and I don't provide them an opportunity to do it again, but I definitely forgive them. If the thought crosses my mind, because there could be sometimes you might think about a time somebody did something to you, and that stuff might make you angry again. Damn near as angry as when it first happened, like out of the blue, that John just popped up. You be like, I remember when that. Exactly. And then you know what, Lord, I'm not even tripping. It's all good. I forgive. Don't bring it up. I remember when you did such and such and such and such. Just don't let the person do it again. Forgive them. The Lord's going to forgive you. Continue.
Yes, sir. 15. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
The Lord is not, if you can't forgive a brother for his trespasses, how do you expect the Lord to forgive you after all you've done, after Christ died for you, and you've continued to do just nasty stuff that you shouldn't be doing? Forgive a brother. I've tried to tell brothers so many times, like, you're gonna have to let that go and forgive that brother. No. No. So, all right, when you ask God to forgive you, just know he's saying no. Exactly. Let me see. I don't know if I'm gonna read that whole thing. Let me see. We'll start it. Matthew 18 and 15. Because forgiveness would have a lot of brothers not be in the casket right now. Forgiveness would have a lot of families still together. It would have a lot of people with less mental issues and mental anguish. And I did want to highlight this. I did see a time where the Crips and the Bloods, they did have a ceasefire and they did, stop, assaulting each other. And then one of the, and he's been in movies before. He was kind of famous. I don't know his name, but he was explaining to one of the journalists. He was like, look, and this is like around the 90s, 2000s, early. He said that we stopped shooting each other. He said, and then some police officers, they came, they got in the car, and they pretended like they were one of the gangs and did shoot. Of course they would. If we were able to forgive each other and stand on it, we would be able to easily sift through that type of deception. And then we would be able to rightfully and purposely point our, anger and our aggression towards who actually deserved it. Because I can't forgive no devil for nothing like that. I can't have brothers having a ceasefire and then, you come being an evil, despicable bastard and you shoot up the place because you want them back fighting again. Sure. And this brother said that's what happened. I'm willing to believe it before I believe the devil say it didn't happen. Exactly. Damn that, man. I'm not forget. I'll forgive my brother. I'm not forgiving this devil for what they've done to us. I wish my son would. I wish you know, some devil would unalive me on the side of the road when I'm getting a traffic stop, and my son end up standing in that court and say he forgives him. I would have failed if I haven't taught my son that that's not the way. I have failed my son.
Absolutely.
Salakia. Yeah, Matthew 18 and 15.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
So this is how you begin to forgive your brother. This is the steps that you should take if you know, something happens that was wrong by a brother or a sister. If I step on Kaash's fresh you know, Nikes, the Air Force Ones, and I keep it moving, and he just looks at it and he never says nothing, but he, in the back of his mind, he's mad. And then I do something else, and the next thing I know, I'm getting punched in the back of my head. Then we failed. We failed.
Yep.
But if he comes to me, continue.
Come. But if he will not hear thee, then take thee.
Oh, Salakia. I'll read that one part. If I hear him, he's gained me as a brother. So if he shall hear thee, no sweat, because you haven't read that part already. Yo, Salakia, my bad, bro. I did not even know I had stepped on your sneakers. Look, man, my damn door handles done flew off my car. I'm in the zone. I ain't even been paying attention, Salakia. I got some shoe cleaner. I'll get that John fixed up for you. And if it don't come out, you know what? I done came up on a little bit of extra change. You know, you know what? I'll get you a new pair, brother. I should be like, damn, that's what's up. And let's go have a drink together, brother. But let's go to something else. Let's go to verse 36. Is it third? I'm tripping. I can't even see. Verse 16. Salakia.
No problem. Verse 16. But he will not hear thee. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established.
So if I won't hear Kaash, if I stepped on his sneakers, like, man, what are you talking about? They some sneakers, man. Get up out of here with that, boy. You tripping about some sneakers? What you broke? You can't just go get a new pair. What's your problem, bro? That's why you don't get no girls now. Brothers really will say stuff and be like that. Yeah, have you ever seen when people do stuff like that?
I wouldn't say something like that. Like, it's just.
I've seen brothers go off the deep end after offending a brother and do just what I said. Like, be like, you worried about this. That's why you don't get this and whoopie. Like, that ain't the way to go. But I've seen brothers day in and day out, you know, be in the wrong and then stand 10 toes down on the wrong. Continue.
Come. Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
So if the brother does not hear what you're saying, and this is still on the lines of forgiveness, because the forgiveness part came in verse 15 when the brother brought it to him and he heard him. Mm-hmm. The other brother forgave him. You can tell because it says he gained my brother. But if he won't, you continue this. You don't have to get vengeance. You don't have to step on his sneakers. You don't have to say ill stuff about him. You get two or more people, and you get that matter established in front of people who know how to rightfully decide judgments. Continue.
Okay. Let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
So if they won't listen, let him be as a heathen man and a publican. Let me see. We're going to skip down because I was going to read more of it. But let me see. All right, let's read verse 19.
Verse 19. Again, I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them.
So if we can agree, if we can forgive each other, if we can do what's right, Christ just said it should be done for us in the Father's name. But let's see what Peter has to say. Let's see what Peter, because Peter's like, well, damn. How many times do I gotta forgive somebody if they day in and day out? Like, let's read it.
21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Like, Peter crazy for this. Peter's like, yo, how often do I gotta forgive him? Like, how many times is this brother gonna come in here, you know, or borrow money and not give it back? How often is this brother going, you know, borrow something of mine and return it in the wrong condition? How many times is this brother going to get out of pocket with me and say something fly out his mouth? How many times do I got to forgive him? 7 times? I got to forgive him the 7 times that he did it? Continue.
22. Jesus said unto him, I say unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Yo, forgive that brother as many times as it takes.
Right.
As many times as it takes. Don't put yourself in a position for stuff to keep happening, but forgive that brother. If Kaash let me borrow his PlayStation and I bring his controllers back broken and I don't never do what was right, Kaash don't need to be letting me borrow his PlayStation no more. No more. But he shouldn't come through my house with the Switch over the PlayStation. Like, I got a controller for you in these days. Where we at? Yeah, we can continue.
I'm on 23. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. And we had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, owed him 10,000 talents.
So in this parable, there was a king who had a servant, and that servant owed him money. And it was brought before him. Continue.
But for as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made.
So he's like, look, you can't pay me back my money. I'm selling you to the next man to get my profit back, or excuse me, to get my bread back, and your family, they got to go to. Continue. That's crazy.
Verse 26. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me. I will pay thee all.
So he's like, look, please give me a little bit more time. I'll give you your money back. Like, you ain't got to do this, please. You know how many times I've seen that in movies with drug dealers, to where you're like, yo, you don't got my money? Like, yo, please, man. Please, G, I'll get the money for you, man. Just give me a little bit more time, I promise. And the drug dealer don't give him no more time. Right. The drug dealer is the Lord, or excuse me, the kingpin is the Lord over the drug dealer. And in the world, they're not giving you more time at all. But let's see what happens with this situation.
27. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him the debt.
That king heard what that brother had to say, and he was moved with compassion. He felt it. He's like, you know what? You know, don't even worry about it. You know what? You don't even got to pay me back. I'm forgiving the debt. That's graciousness right there. Mm-hmm. That sounds like something that if I'm ever in a position, I need to be doing.
Absolutely.
Continue.
28. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and he laid hands on him.
So hold on. Let me go up a little bit and see. So he said 100 pence?
100 pence.
So you owe somebody 10,000. You go to, after being forgiven, you was about to have your butt sold, and your wife and family ripped away. For 10,000, you get forgiven. You go to the brother who owes you money, and it's way less, and you end up giving them the beats for it. For 100? This is crazy. This is crazy.
That's have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Oh, Salakia.
No. Yeah, we go down to 28.
But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat saying, pay me that thou owest.
Good night. So you, I know, right? Strangling this brother over 100 when you owed somebody 10,000. Continue.
Come. Verse 29. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. But he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt.
Now, hold on. We're going to stop right there for 1 second because I want to read something real quick. And I saved these pictures so I can remember this. So, you know, one of the things, and this movie is from the 70s. I don't even know these people, but it reminds me of like a Clint Eastwood thing. And it's called God Forgives, I Don't. And it's a movie, right? So one of the things I wanted to point out is because the wisdom of this world is something like this saying right here. I've never even seen the movie, but I always wondered where, you know, Rick Ross got that saying from. God forgives, I don't. Rick Ross is saying this and he's putting that out into the world. That's the vibe that he's sending out from some movie with some heathens that is destroying the very fabric of our community. God forgives, I don't. The scriptures clearly say, if you forgive your brother, I will forgive you. Absolutely. So there's a contingency upon there, as well as following the law, statutes, and commandments. So Rick Ross, he made a whole album called God Forgives, I Don't. And then they got movies on Tubi with black people called God Forgives, I Don't. So we have this whole thing where black people don't know how to forgive each other. And this very story is telling you the way you should operate. And it's telling you to forgive your brother and God will forgive you. Right. I just wanted to point that out because we have to stop looking at the wisdom of this world, especially when it comes to matters of forgiveness. Like there's a lot of things that have happened in my life and I've had to forgive, especially now. You know what? It is what it is. I forgive. And I'm glad there was a situation where somebody owed me money and I ended up forgiving them because I'm a nice guy, right? I'm a nice guy. Everybody that I used to hang out with is not so nice. So when they found out somebody owed me money, they were going to do something. But had that happen, how can I live on that street? And I'm just joking. I'm not gonna say I'm not a nice guy, but I'm a nice guy. I am forgiving. But how can I live on that street if there's turmoil between me and another brother over money? If I let one of mine go in there and break one of his arms, for some money, and brothers got to be glad that they don't do stuff like that if they do choose to forgive, because now there can be peace in your neighborhood. There can be peace on your block. You can see that person and you could be like, you know what, that money wasn't even worth it. And then farther down on the line, the brother that did owe me ended up helping me with something that was worth more than $300. Awesome. So we were just talking about mechanics and stuff. Brother ended up helping me with something, and helping my my younger sister with something that was worth more than that. So we got to forgive our brothers, but let's continue.
Come on, verse 30, and he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told unto their Lord all that was done.
So one of the brothers saw what he did. Like, look, man, this is messed up. I gotta let the king know. Continue. And I think it's just 3 more verses.
Come. Then his Lord, after that he called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt because thou desired me. Shouldest thou not also have compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I have pity on thee? And his Lord was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him.
You gotta be tortured now. Until you pay back what you was due, because you could have had mercy. You could have had grace on your brother like the Lord had mercy on you. Last verse, Salakia.
Come. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses.
That's deep. It is. So I gotta forgive my brothers because I want the Lord to forgive me. Plus, I want there to be peace anyway. I don't want to live in a world to where I can't even have peace with my own brothers, especially when I have every single other nation on earth coming up against me. I need peace with my brothers so we can get together, like Zephaniah 2:1 says. I gotta mention that verse damn near every class. But forgiveness. This is the law class, but we talking about forgiveness because you saw in Leviticus how I said don't hold or bear grudge against the children of our people. So forgive your brother, forgive your sister. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class over to the priest and Officer Kaash.
You over here or over there?
Whichever one you're trying to do.
I'll stand for this. This is the ISCPK security announcements. Rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'asera, which means a tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund is a free will offering from the peace, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. It is the Day of Atonement, which is October 11th, and we will be celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles Wednesday, the 16th to the 24th. If any brother wants to be a trooper in school, he's to start wearing black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf, and with that, men in Israel will say a Amazon, which means to stand. Men in Israel, Amazon Shabbat, Amazon, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakathum.
Yahweh hands down. Sorry, turn and face the sisters. Sisters, Amazon, which means to stand. Men in Israel, Amazon Shabbat, Amazon, Barak, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Adam, Bashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh class dismissed.